Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something that has the power to change your life forever. 6 months of hard work, consistency, focus, and discipline. It might sound simple, but this combination is a game changer. Imagine this. Every day for the next 6 months, you commit to doing the work, no matter how hard or how small the step may be. Day by day, these efforts add up. The power of small daily actions can transform what once seemed impossible into your new reality. The secret is consistency. When you show up day after day, your work gains momentum. It's like pushing a boulder uphill. At first it's tough, but once it starts rolling, it becomes unstoppable. This momentum becomes your ally, and suddenly, progress feels natural. But momentum alone isn't enough. You need discipline. Discipline means sticking to your plan even when motivation fades. It's the bridge that connects your goals with achievement. It's what allows you to wake up early, say no to distractions, and keep your eyes on the prize. Speaking of distractions, focus is crucial. When you concentrate all your energy on a clear goal, your productivity skyrockets. Without focus, your efforts scatter like a shotgun blast. With focus, you become a laser, cutting through obstacles with precision. Remember, time is your most valuable resource. How you spend the next 6 months will shape your future. Use your time wisely and prioritize meaningful work that aligns with your goals. Hard work doesn't just build your success, it builds your character. You develop resilience, patience, and mental toughness. These qualities will serve you in every area of your life. Over time, your consistent actions become habits. 6 months is enough time for these habits to take root, shaping your identity and lifestyle. You won't just be someone working toward a goal, you'll be someone who lives success daily. Don't wait for perfection. Celebrate your small wins and measure your progress. Growth is a journey, not a straight line. There will be plateaus, but those are opportunities to learn and push harder. Scientific research shows it takes about 66 days to form a habit. 6 months is nearly 3 times that, enough time to transform your mind, body, and life. So commit today. 6 months of focused effort, hard work, consistency, and discipline can truly change your life forever. Your future self is waiting to thank you. Consistency is often called the secret ingredient to success, but why is it so important? What makes consistency more powerful than occasional bursts of effort? The answer lies in the natural way momentum works in our lives and in the universe. When you commit to consistent action, you begin to create a chain reaction, a powerful force that carries you forward and makes progress easier with time. Imagine pushing a heavy object like a large boulder across a flat surface. At first, it barely moves. You have to apply a great deal of effort just to get it to budge. This is what starting something new feels like: hard, exhausting, and frustrating. But once you push it just enough for it to start rolling, the boulder gains momentum. It picks up speed and keeps moving with much less effort from you. This is the effect consistency has on your journey toward any goal. Consistency builds momentum because it creates a rhythm, a pattern of movement that your mind and body get used to. When you do something regularly, you remove a lot of the resistance that usually holds you back. The fear of starting, the uncertainty about what to do next, and the distraction of other possibilities all fade away because you're in motion. Momentum makes action easier and makes you want to keep going. When you're consistent, you also build trust with yourself. Each day you follow through on your commitments. You prove to yourself that you can rely on your own discipline and dedication. This self-trust is crucial because it strengthens your motivation. Instead of doubting your ability to succeed, you begin to believe in yourself and your process, which fuels even more consistent effort. Consistency is like laying bricks to build a wall. Each brick might seem small and insignificant on its own, but when placed one after another, they create something strong and lasting. Without consistency, you might build a few bricks here and there, but your wall will remain weak and unstable. With consistent effort, you create a solid foundation that can withstand challenges and setbacks. Another important aspect of consistency is that it allows for gradual improvement. When you work consistently on a skill or a project, you give yourself the chance to learn from mistakes and adjust your approach. This continual process of refinement helps you become better and more efficient over time. If you only work sporadically, your progress is slower, and it's harder to see what works and what doesn't. It's also worth noting that consistency helps combat procrastination. When you make a commitment to take action every day, no matter how small, you reduce the overwhelming feeling that often leads to putting things off. Knowing that you only need to do a manageable amount daily makes starting less intimidating and keeps you moving forward steadily. Consistency also builds resilience. There will be days when you don't feel motivated, when distractions or obstacles arise, or when life throws unexpected challenges your way. But if you've built a habit of consistent action, you're more likely to push through those tough moments because you've created a rhythm that supports your progress. This resilience helps you overcome setbacks without losing sight of your goals. The compound effect of consistency extends beyond the immediate task at hand. When you consistently invest time and energy in one area, you often see positive changes spill over into other parts of your life. For example, consistently exercising not only improves your physical health, but can boost your mental clarity, energy levels, and confidence, which then enhance your productivity in other areas like work or relationships. Scientific research supports the power of consistency. Habits that are practiced regularly become deeply ingrained in our brains through a process called neuroplasticity. This means that consistent behaviors create new neural pathways, making those actions easier to perform and more automatic over time. The longer you maintain consistency, the more natural and effortless your progress becomes. It's important to recognize that consistency doesn't mean perfection. There will be days when you falter or fall short. What matters is getting back on track quickly and not letting occasional slip-ups derail your entire journey. True consistency is about commitment over time, not flawless execution every single day. In practical terms, building consistency starts with setting clear, achievable goals and breaking them down into daily tasks. It's better to start small and be consistent than to try something massive and burn out quickly. For example, if your goal is to write a book, begin with writing just a few sentences or a paragraph daily. This approach creates a sustainable routine that can be maintained over months, leading to significant results. Accountability also plays a role in consistency. Sharing your goals with a friend, mentor, or community can provide external motivation and encouragement to keep going. When others are aware of your commitment, you're more likely to follow through because you don't want to let them or yourself down. Consistency is the force multiplier that turns effort into results. It transforms ordinary, everyday actions into extraordinary achievements. By committing to consistent work over 6 months, You can harness the power of momentum, build resilience, improve your skills, and create lasting change in your life. The journey may be challenging, but consistency will carry you forward, one step at a time, until you reach your destination. Consistency is often overlooked as a key factor in achieving lasting success, yet it is one of the most powerful forces in personal growth and achievement. When you consistently show up and put in the effort, you begin to build momentum that propels you forward, making progress easier and more natural over time. This momentum is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who struggle to make lasting change. At the beginning of any new endeavor, the process can feel difficult and slow. It's like trying to start rolling a heavy boulder uphill. There's a lot of resistance and the effort feels exhausting, but as you persist and push the boulder a little each day, something remarkable happens. The boulder begins to move more easily, gaining speed as it rolls downhill. This is the principle of momentum in action. Consistency in your efforts works the same way. The more you commit to taking daily action, the easier and more automatic progress becomes. The power of consistency is that it creates a rhythm, a habit loop, which reduces the friction you face each time you want to work towards your goals. Instead of having to motivate yourself anew every day, you develop a routine where action becomes natural. Your mind and body adapt to the regular pattern of work, which lowers the mental and emotional barriers to starting and continuing your efforts. This rhythm creates a feedback loop. Progress fuels motivation, which in turn reinforces consistent behavior. Consistency also helps build trust in yourself. Each day you follow through on your commitments. You prove to yourself that you are reliable and capable. This self-trust is essential because it strengthens your confidence and belief in your ability to succeed. When you believe in yourself, you are more likely to persist through challenges and setbacks. Consistent action, therefore, not only builds momentum externally, but also strengthens your internal resolve. Furthermore, consistency is crucial for mastering any skill or developing any habit. Skill development is a gradual process that requires repeated practice over time. Sporadic effort leads to uneven progress and frustration. However, when you practice regularly and consistently, your brain forms stronger neural connections related to the task, making the skill more automatic and refined. This is how consistency leads to improvement and eventually mastery. The importance of small daily actions in creating consistency cannot be overstated. You don't need to make huge leaps every day. Even modest incremental progress adds up to significant growth over months. This approach helps prevent burnout and keeps motivation sustainable. When you set realistic, manageable goals and stick to them daily, you build a strong foundation that supports long-term success. Consistency also reduces the risk of procrastination. One of the biggest hurdles to productivity is the overwhelming feeling of having to do a large task all at once. But if you commit to doing something small every day, the task becomes less intimidating and more manageable. The fear of failure or imperfection diminishes when you realize that success is built through steady, continuous effort rather than sporadic bursts. Another benefit of consistency is resilience. Life is unpredictable, and there will be days when you don't feel motivated or when obstacles arise. But if you have established a pattern of consistent effort, you are more likely to push through difficult times. Consistency becomes a habit, and habits are less dependent on willpower or mood. This resilience helps you maintain forward momentum, even when circumstances are challenging. The compound effect of consistent work often goes beyond the immediate goal. As you maintain momentum in one area of your life, positive changes begin to influence other areas. For instance, consistently dedicating time to personal development can improve your relationships health, and career. These ripple effects can amplify your overall success and well-being. Scientific research confirms the power of consistency through the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Regular practice strengthens these connections, making behaviors more automatic and ingrained. This means that over time, the effort required to perform a task decreases and the activity becomes part of your routine. Importantly, consistency doesn't demand perfection. It's normal to encounter setbacks, miss a day, or experience dips in motivation. What matters is the overall pattern of persistence. Returning to your routine after a lapse is itself an act of consistency and helps maintain momentum. It's the commitment over weeks and months that creates transformation, not flawless execution every day. To build consistency, start by defining clear, specific goals and breaking them into manageable daily tasks. Focus on creating habits that are easy to maintain and gradually increase intensity as your capacity grows. Using tools like planners, reminders, or accountability partners can help reinforce your commitment and keep you on track. Ultimately, consistency is the force multiplier that turns effort into results. It transforms ordinary small actions into extraordinary achievements by building momentum that carries you forward. When you embrace consistency, you set yourself up for sustained progress and lasting change. Over a period of 6 months, consistent action will reshape your habits, your mindset, and your life in profound ways. The journey might be challenging, but momentum gained through consistency will make your path smoother and more rewarding with each step. The compound effect is one of the most powerful yet often underestimated forces for achieving success and transformation in life. It refers to the idea that small, consistent actions repeated over time accumulate and multiply to produce significant, lasting results. This principle works much like compound interest in finance, where money invested steadily grows exponentially due to interest earning interest. Similarly, consistent effort in any area of life, whether personal development, fitness, career, or relationships, builds upon itself, creating a momentum that transforms your life in ways that might seem impossible at first. When you start a new habit or project, the initial impact might seem insignificant. Perhaps you study for just 15 minutes a day, or you save a small portion of your income regularly. On their own, these small actions don't feel like they will lead to anything extraordinary, but over weeks and months, these tiny efforts add up. What once seemed like minimal progress turns into a powerful foundation. The key is to keep going even when the results aren't immediately visible. One reason the compound effect works so well with consistency is that progress is rarely linear. You might not notice much improvement in the first few weeks, but as you continue, your skills improve, your confidence grows, and your habits become stronger. This growth starts to accelerate because each day's effort builds on the last. You begin to experience breakthroughs and your results compound. This is the moment when your initial effort finally pays off and the changes in your life become noticeable and impact. The compound effect also applies beyond just tangible achievements. Consistent positive behaviors improve your mindset and attitude, which in turn influences how you approach challenges and opportunities. For example, daily meditation or journaling may seem like small, quiet acts, but over time, they create mental clarity and emotional resiliency. These inner changes affect how you handle stress, relationships, and decision-making, enhancing your overall quality of life. Another important aspect of the compound effect is that it works both ways, positively and negatively. Just as small good habits multiply into success, small bad habits accumulate into problems. Neglecting your health, wasting time, or engaging in negative thinking might feel harmless in the moment, but over time, these habits compound into serious consequences. This is why awareness and intentionality in your daily choices are so critical. Choosing to be consistent with positive actions, even when they seem small or inconvenient, leads to a much better future. The power of the compound effect lies not in sudden dramatic changes, but in the steady accumulation of effort. This teaches us patience and persistence, which are often missing in a culture that values instant gratification. True transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's the result of showing up day after day, even when motivation wanes or progress feels slow. Every step forward counts, and every day of consistency is a victory that adds up. One practical way to harness the compound effect is by setting clear, achievable goals and focusing on small improvements. Instead of overwhelming yourself with massive changes, break your goal down into manageable daily habits that you can realistically maintain. For instance, if your goal is to improve your fitness, start with a 10-minute walk daily rather than pushing yourself to an intense workout that you're unlikely to sustain. Over time, these small actions compound and can lead to significant physical transformation. It's also helpful to track your progress to make the compound effect more visible and motivating. Keeping a journal or using an app to log your daily habits or accomplishments provides tangible proof of your consistency. This reinforces your commitment and reminds you that your efforts are adding up, even if the results aren't immediately obvious. The compound effect also creates a positive feedback loop. As you see your progress growing, your motivation increases, which encourages you to keep going. This cycle can propel you forward with increasing momentum. This is why consistency and patience go hand in hand. You must trust the process and stay committed long enough to reach the tipping point where results multiply. Another key to maximizing the compound effect is to surround yourself with positive influences. Supportive friends, mentors, or communities who encourage your consistent efforts can make a huge difference. They provide accountability, inspiration, and practical advice to keep you on track. Being part of a group with shared goals also helps maintain your momentum during tough times. The compound effect helps develop discipline. When you commit to daily actions, you train your mind and body to stay focused and resilient. Discipline becomes a habit, reducing reliance on fleeting motivation. Over time, this habit of discipline supports not only your current goals, but also future challenges, making success a natural part of your character. Ultimately, the compound effect demonstrates that your future is shaped not by one grand action, but by the tiny, consistent choices you make every day. These choices might seem small and insignificant, but they have the power to transform your life completely when compounded over 6 months, a year, or longer. Embracing this principle means trusting in the power of small steps, staying consistent, and being patient enough to let your efforts grow into something remarkable. The journey is not always easy. You will face moments of doubt, distractions, and setbacks. But the compound effect rewards those who persevere and stay the course. Over time, your consistent actions build a legacy of success, growth, and fulfillment that can truly change your life forever. Discipline might seem like a restriction or something that limits your freedom, but in reality, it is the foundation of true freedom. Discipline is the ability to control your impulses, stay focused on your goals, and follow through with your plans, even when distractions, temptations, or difficulties arise. When you develop discipline, you are essentially training yourself to make choices that serve your long-term success. rather than seeking immediate gratification. This ability creates freedom because it gives you control over your life and your future. Many people misunderstand discipline as a form of punishment or harsh rule they have to follow. They think it means giving up joy or constantly saying no to things they want. However, discipline is actually about creating boundaries that protect your time, energy, and resources so that you can achieve what truly matters to you. Instead of being enslaved by distractions or bad habits, discipline allows you to break free from them. It is a way to take ownership of your actions and create the life you desire. When you have discipline, you stop being a slave to your impulses and moods. You don't rely on motivation alone because motivation can be inconsistent and fleeting. Instead, you build habits and routines that keep you moving forward, no matter how you feel on any given day. This reliability becomes your freedom. Freedom from procrastination, from chaos, and from the regret that comes from unfulfilled potential. Discipline also means learning to delay gratification. It's about prioritizing what's important over what feels good in the moment. This skill is crucial for success because most meaningful goals require sustained effort and sacrifice. For example, choosing to wake up early to work on your goals instead of hitting the snooze button might seem difficult at first. But over time, this disciplined choice gives you more hours in the day to build your dreams. That extra time is freedom. The freedom to pursue your passions and live life on your terms. Another way discipline creates freedom is by building self-confidence. When you consistently follow through with your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are dependable and capable. This builds trust in your own abilities, which is empowering. You no longer feel trapped by self-doubt or indecision because discipline trains your mind to focus on action. With this confidence, you are free to take on challenges, make decisions, and pursue opportunities without hesitation. Financial freedom is also closely tied to discipline. Managing money wisely requires disciplined spending, saving, and investing. Without discipline, it's easy to fall into debt or live paycheck to paycheck. But when you develop financial discipline, you gain control over your resources and create opportunities for long-term wealth. This financial stability is a form of freedom that allows you to make choices based on what you want, rather than being forced to survive month to month. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. You may have a clear vision of what you want, but without discipline, it remains just a dream. Discipline turns your plans into consistent actions. Each time you choose to stick to your routine, you are exercising your freedom to create the life you want. This process might require sacrifices and hard work, but the payoff is immense because you gain independence from external circumstances. The paradox of discipline is that it feels restrictive at first, but leads to greater flexibility and autonomy in the long run. When you build discipline in your daily habits, you eliminate wasted time and energy. Your day becomes more productive and you accomplish more with less stress. This efficiency frees you up to enjoy leisure, creativity, and meaningful relationships without guilt or anxiety. Moreover, discipline helps you develop resilience. Life will inevitably present challenges, setbacks, and distractions. Without discipline, it's easy to give up or get sidetracked, but a disciplined mindset trains you to persist despite difficulties. This persistence is freedom because it means you don't have to be controlled by circumstances or emotions. You become the master of your fate, capable of weathering storms and continuing to progress. To cultivate discipline, it's important to start small and build gradually. Trying to overhaul your entire life overnight often leads to burnout and failure. Instead, focus on creating 1 or 2 positive habits and commit to them daily. Over time, these habits build momentum and strengthen your self-control. Tools such as setting clear goals, creating routines, eliminating distractions, and holding yourself accountable can support your development of discipline. It's also essential to understand that discipline is a skill, not a trait you either have or don't have. Like any skill, it improves with practice. You will have days when you struggle, but what matters most is your willingness to keep trying and not let temporary setbacks define your journey. Over time, disciplined choices become automatic and part of your character, making freedom a natural outcome. Discipline gives you the power to live intentionally. Instead of drifting through life reacting to circumstances, you proactively shape your future. You decide how to spend your time, what habits to form, and what values to uphold. This intentional living creates a sense of purpose and fulfillment that can't be achieved through shortcuts or impulsive behavior. As in the big picture, discipline is the foundation of success, happiness, and freedom. It is the tool that allows you to break free from limiting patterns, build the life you want, and experience true autonomy. When you commit to discipline, you are choosing to invest in your future self, creating opportunities for growth, and unlocking the freedom that comes from mastering yourself. This freedom is not given, it is earned through consistent, focused effort and the willingness to do what others won't. Focus is one of the most powerful tools you have to achieve success and transform your life. It is the ability to direct your attention and energy toward a specific goal or task without getting pulled away by distractions or competing interests. In today's world, distractions are everywhere, from smartphones and social media to constant notifications and a fast-paced lifestyle. These distractions fragment your attention, making it difficult to concentrate deeply on what truly matters. Developing focus means reclaiming control over your mind and your time, which is essential for turning your dreams into reality. When you focus, you create a mental environment that supports productivity and creativity. Instead of allowing your thoughts to jump from one thing to another, you train your brain to stay on track and give full attention to one task at a time. This single-minded concentration leads to better quality work, faster progress, and greater satisfaction. Multitasking, on the other hand, often reduces efficiency and increases mistakes. Research shows that switching between tasks can cost you as much as 40% of your productive time. Therefore, focus is not just about working harder, but about working smarter. Focus also strengthens your discipline and self-control. Every time you resist a distraction and return to your task, you are exercising your mental muscles. Over time, this makes it easier to stay concentrated, even when faced with tempting interruptions or boredom. Like any skill, focus improves with practice. It requires patience and commitment, especially in a culture that often encourages instant gratification and constant stimulation. Another important benefit of focus is clarity. When your mind is scattered, it's hard to prioritize or make decisions effectively. Focus helps you identify what is truly important and lets you allocate your energy accordingly. This clarity reduces stress and overwhelm because you know exactly what you need to do and can avoid wasting time on less meaningful activities. It also helps prevent burnout by allowing you to work efficiently and then rest without guilt. Distractions come in many forms, external and internal. External distractions include noise, interruptions from others, notifications, and environmental chaos. Internal distractions are just as powerful and include wandering thoughts, worries, fears, and daydreams. Learning to manage both types is key to maintaining focus. Creating a distraction-free environment, such as turning off unnecessary notifications, setting specific work times, and having a clean workspace, can help minimize external interruptions. For internal distractions, mindfulness practices, meditation, or simple breathing exercises can calm your mind and improve concentration. Focus is especially crucial for long-term goals because these require sustained effort over time. When you keep your eyes on the bigger picture, you are less likely to get derailed by short-term temptations or setbacks. This is why setting clear, meaningful goals is essential. Goals act like a compass, guiding your focus and helping you filter out irrelevant distractions. When you know what you want, you can say no to things that don't align with your priorities, preserving your energy for what matters most. In addition to personal productivity, focus enhances creativity and problem solving. Deep concentration allows your brain to connect ideas in new ways and come up with innovative solutions. This is why many successful people emphasize the importance of focused work sessions or flow states, where distractions disappear and time seems to slow down. Achieving this level of focus requires deliberate practice and the right conditions, but it can dramatically boost your effectiveness. One practical way to build focus is by breaking your work into chunks with dedicated time blocks. This technique, often called the Pomodoro technique, involves working with full attention for 25 minutes, then taking a short break before repeating. This method trains your brain to concentrate intensely and helps prevent mental fatigue. Over time, you can increase your focus periods as your mental stamina grows. Another helpful strategy is to plan your day around your natural energy cycles. Some people focus best in the morning, while others may find afternoons or evenings more productive. By aligning your most important tasks with your peak focus times, you maximize your efficiency and quality of work. Planning also includes prioritizing your tasks and tackling high-impact activities first, ensuring that your limited focus capacity goes toward what truly drives progress. Accountability can also improve focus. Sharing your goals with someone else or working alongside others with similar aims creates external motivation to stay on track. When you know someone else is counting on you or observing your progress, you are less likely to give in to distractions. It's important to recognize that focus is not about being perfect or working non-stop without rest. Balance is key. Your brain needs breaks to recharge and maintain high levels of concentration. Overworking can lead to fatigue, which diminishes focus and productivity. Incorporating regular breaks, physical movement, and downtime supports sustained focus over days, weeks, and months. Ultimately, focus is the gateway to achieving your full potential. It turns your intentions into action, your plans into results, and your dreams into reality. When you eliminate distractions and concentrate on what matters, you unlock a level of productivity and creativity that can change your life. This kind of focus requires dedication, practice, and an intentional approach to managing your environment and mindset. But the rewards are immense. Greater success, fulfillment, and the freedom that comes from knowing you are making meaningful progress every day. Consistency is one of the most important factors that determine success in any area of life. It is the practice of showing up every day and doing the work required, regardless of how you feel or the obstacles you face. While motivation may come and go, consistency is what creates lasting progress and builds unstoppable momentum. Momentum is the force that keeps you moving forward with less resistance once you've established a rhythm, and it can completely transform your journey toward your goals. When you begin a new habit or project, it often feels difficult. The initial stages require effort, willpower, and sometimes overcoming doubt or fear. This is natural because your brain and body are adjusting to a new routine. However, if you remain consistent, over time, this effort becomes easier. Your mind starts to associate your actions with positive results, and your habits become automatic. This automaticity is the key to building momentum when your actions no longer feel like a chore, but instead become a natural part of your daily life. Momentum is powerful because it creates a cycle of progress. Every small step forward generates energy that fuels the next step. This positive feedback loop helps you gain confidence and encourages you to keep pushing even when challenges arise. The alternative is stopping and starting repeatedly, which wastes energy and makes progress slower and more frustrating. By being consistent, you avoid the yo-yo effect and stay on a steady path toward success. Consistency also allows you to improve through practice. The more regularly you engage in an activity, the better you become at it. Skills are developed and refined through repetition. Whether you are learning a new language, working out, building a business, or improving your mindset, showing up every day for a sustained period leads to mastery. This incremental improvement builds up over time and can lead to breakthroughs that seem sudden, but are really the result of persistent effort. In addition to progress and skill development, consistency strengthens your discipline. When you commit to a routine and follow through regularly, you train your mind to focus on long-term benefits rather than immediate comfort. This self-discipline becomes a habit itself, making it easier to resist distractions and stay aligned with your goals. Over time, consistency builds resilience because you learn to keep moving forward despite setbacks or fatigue. Another important aspect of consistency is that it builds trust, both with yourself and with others. When you consistently show up for your commitments, you prove that you are reliable and dependable. This trust is foundational for building strong relationships, whether in personal life or business. People are more likely to support, collaborate with, or invest in someone who consistently delivers results and demonstrates perseverance. Consistency also helps to create a clear structure in your life. Having regular habits and routines provides stability and predictability, which can reduce stress and decision fatigue. Instead of spending mental energy deciding what to do every day, you create systems that guide your actions automatically. This frees up mental space to focus on creativity, problem solving, and higher level goals. Importantly, consistency is about progress, not perfection. It's unrealistic to expect yourself to be flawless every day. What matters is that you keep moving forward, even if some days are harder or less productive than others. A missed day or a small setback does not erase the power of consistent effort over weeks and months. The key is to return to your routine and not let temporary failures discourage you. One practical way to cultivate consistency is to start with small, manageable actions that you can realistically sustain. Trying to do too much too soon often leads to burnout or quitting. By focusing on incremental improvements and celebrating small wins, you build confidence and reinforce your commitment. Gradually, these small actions compound into significant results. Tracking your progress is another powerful strategy. When you see evidence of your efforts paying off, it boosts motivation and encourages you to keep going. This could be through journaling, using apps, or simply reflecting on what you've accomplished. Accountability partners or mentors can also support consistency by providing encouragement and reminders. Consistency builds momentum that can carry you through the toughest times. When life gets busy, stressful, or discouraging, the habit of regular effort keeps you anchored. Even if your progress slows down temporarily, maintaining consistency ensures you don't lose all the ground you've gained. It's like riding a bicycle. Once you have momentum, it takes less energy to keep moving forward. In the grand scheme of things, consistency is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who only dream about them. Talent, intelligence, and opportunity are important, but without consistent effort, they rarely translate into success. Every successful person you admire has one thing in common. They consistently put in the work, day after day, even when it wasn't easy. If you want to change your life, create lasting habits, or reach a challenging goal, focus on being consistent. Set clear intentions, build supportive routines, and commit to showing up regularly. Over time, the momentum you build will make your efforts feel effortless, and you will be amazed at how far you can go. Consistency is the key that unlocks the door to transformation. It turns small, daily actions into powerful outcomes and makes the impossible achievable. Keep going, keep showing up, and watch your momentum grow until it carries you beyond your wildest dreams. Discipline is the foundation upon which willpower is built and strengthened. While willpower is often seen as the ability to resist temptation or push through challenges, it is discipline that forms the consistent practice and framework to exercise and grow that willpower. Without discipline, willpower is like a muscle that never gets used. It remains weak and easily fatigued. But with discipline, willpower grows stronger and more reliable, allowing you to stay committed to your goals even when motivation fades or obstacles appear. At its core, discipline is about creating routines, setting boundaries, and following through on commitments, regardless of how you feel in the moment. It is the choice to act in alignment with your long-term goals instead of succumbing to immediate gratification or distractions. When you practice discipline regularly, you train your mind and body to function with purpose and control. This training strengthens your willpower by making self-control a habit rather than a constant battle. Willpower can be thought of as a limited resource that can be depleted by overuse. For example, when you resist small temptations all day, by the evening your willpower might feel drained, making it harder to stick to your plans. However, discipline helps conserve and replenish this resource. When you have disciplined habits in place, you don't need to rely solely on willpower for every decision. Instead, many positive actions become automatic, reducing the mental strain and freeing up willpower for more challenging situations. Discipline also helps you develop patience and perseverance. Achieving meaningful goals often requires sustained effort over weeks, months, or even years. It is not enough to be motivated for a day or a week. Success demands a steady, ongoing commitment. Discipline is what enables you to maintain that commitment, showing up day after day and doing the necessary work regardless of external circumstances or internal resistance. This consistent practice builds willpower because each act of discipline reinforces your ability to delay gratification and prioritize long-term rewards. Moreover, discipline strengthens your mental resilience. Life will inevitably present obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. When you have cultivated discipline, you develop the ability to face these challenges head-on without giving in to frustration or giving up. Discipline trains you to push through discomfort and stay focused, which in turn enhances your willpower. The more you overcome adversity with discipline, the stronger your willpower becomes. An important aspect of discipline is self-awareness. Understanding your triggers, weaknesses, and patterns allows you to design routines and environments that support disciplined behavior. For example, if you know that social media distracts you from work, Discipline means setting boundaries like turning off notifications or scheduling specific times to check your phone. By controlling your environment, you reduce the number of decisions that require willpower and make it easier to stay on track. Discipline also builds confidence and trust in yourself. When you consistently follow through on your commitments, you prove to yourself that you are capable of controlling your actions and making good choices. This self-trust fuels willpower because you believe in your ability to overcome temptations and challenges. On the other hand, a lack of discipline can lead to self-doubt and feelings of helplessness, which undermine willpower and increase the likelihood of giving up. Another key benefit of discipline is that it helps break bad habits and replace them with positive ones. Bad habits often hijack your willpower by creating automatic behaviors that are hard to resist. Discipline involves consciously interrupting these patterns and consistently choosing better alternatives. Over time, the new habits become ingrained, reducing the strain on your willpower and creating a healthier, more productive lifestyle. Discipline is not about perfection or rigidity. It's about making intentional choices that move you closer to your goals. It allows for flexibility and learning while maintaining a clear direction. When you practice discipline, you recognize that setbacks are part of the process and that what matters is your ability to get back on track. This mindset strengthens willpower by shifting your focus from temporary failures to long-term progress. Practical ways to build discipline include setting clear goals, creating daily routines, and establishing accountability systems. Break your goals into manageable steps and commit to completing them consistently. Use tools like planners, reminders, or accountability partners to support your efforts. Start small to build momentum and gradually increase the challenge as your discipline grows. In summary, discipline is the essential practice that cultivates and reinforces willpower. It creates the structure and habits that allow you to act with intention and control even when motivation wanes or obstacles arise. Through discipline, willpower becomes a reliable and growing resource, empowering you to stay focused, overcome temptations, and achieve your highest aspirations. By committing to discipline every day, you not only strengthen your willpower, but also unlock your full potential for lasting success. Focused effort is the secret ingredient that transforms hard work into meaningful results. It is not enough to simply work hard or put in long hours. What truly makes the difference is how you direct your energy and attention. When your effort is focused, you channel your resources, time, energy, and skills toward the most important tasks that will move you closer to your goals. This focused approach multiplies the impact of your actions, helping you achieve better and faster results than scattered or distracted effort ever could. One of the main challenges people face when pursuing their goals is spreading themselves too thin. They try to do many things at once, reacting to every opportunity or distraction that comes their way. This lack of focus leads to burnout, wasted energy, and minimal progress. Focused effort, on the other hand, requires intentionality and discipline to prioritize what truly matters. By concentrating on a clear objective and consistently working toward it, you avoid unnecessary detours and keep your progress on a steady upward path. When your effort is focused, you become more efficient and effective. Your brain is better able to engage deeply with the task at hand, leading to higher quality work and innovative solutions. Multitasking or switching between tasks divides your attention and reduces productivity. Neuroscience shows that the brain can only concentrate deeply on one thing at a time, and frequent interruptions or distractions increase errors and decrease the speed of learning. Focused effort aligns with how your brain naturally functions, making your workflow smoother and more rewarding. Focused effort also builds momentum. When you dedicate time and energy to a specific goal or skill without interruption, you create a rhythm that propels you forward. This momentum is crucial because it keeps motivation alive and reduces procrastination. Each small success fuels your desire to continue, and progress becomes more visible. Without focus, your progress is fragmented and slow, and it's easy to lose sight of your bigger purpose. By focusing, you maintain clarity about your goal, which strengthens your commitment and makes the journey more fulfilling. Another powerful advantage of focused effort is that it helps you identify and leverage your strengths. When you concentrate on a particular area, you learn more about what works best for you, allowing you to refine your approach. This deep learning enables you to optimize your strategies and avoid common mistakes. Over time, focused effort develops expertise, which leads to greater confidence and opportunities for advancement. Mastery comes from dedication to one path rather than juggling many interests without depth. Focused effort also helps you manage your time better. Instead of spending hours on low-impact activities or reacting to distractions, you allocate your most productive hours to the most important work. This strategic use of time increases the return on your effort. It's a principle often seen in successful people. They guard their time carefully and focus on high-leverage activities that create exponential value. By doing so, they accomplish more with less effort and avoid burnout. In addition, focused effort cultivates discipline. Concentrating on one task or goal requires resisting temptations and saying no to distractions. This self-portrait strengthens your ability to stay on track even when faced with challenges. Discipline and focus go hand in hand. Each reinforces the other. As you practice focused effort regularly, it becomes a habit, making it easier to maintain long-term commitment and consistency. Focused effort also improves your ability to solve problems and overcome obstacles. When your mind is clear and concentrated, you can analyze challenges more effectively and develop creative solutions. Distraction scatters your thinking and makes it harder to connect ideas or see the bigger picture. Focus allows you to dive deeply into problems, understand their root causes, and take strategic action. This level of clarity accelerates your growth and leads to breakthrough moments. It is important to note that focused effort does not mean ignoring rest or balance. In fact, strategic breaks and self-care enhance your ability to concentrate. The key is to protect your focus during work periods and recover well during rest times. Techniques such as the Pomodoro method, mindfulness, and time blocking help you maintain sharp focus without burning out. When managed well, focused effort can be sustained over long periods, leading to extraordinary results. One practical way to cultivate focused effort is to set clear, specific goals. Vague intentions lead to scattered actions and diluted results. Define what success looks like. Break your goal into manageable steps and create a plan that guides your daily efforts. This clarity simplifies decision-making and helps you stay aligned with your priorities. Another effective strategy is to eliminate distractions. This could mean turning off notifications, creating a dedicated workspace, or scheduling focus time when you won't be interrupted. Reducing noise in your environment lets you enter a state of deep concentration, sometimes called flow, where work feels effortless and highly productive. Accountability can also boost focused effort. Sharing your goals with a mentor, coach, or peer creates external pressure to stay committed. Knowing someone else is monitoring your progress encourages you to maintain focus and push through challenges. Reflection and regular reviews of your progress keep you honest and motivated. In conclusion, focused effort is the multiplier that turns consistent hard work into meaningful success. It allows you to prioritize effectively, work more efficiently, and maintain momentum. By training your mind to concentrate on what truly matters, you enhance your skills, build discipline, and create better results faster. Focused effort is not just a strategy, it is a mindset and a lifestyle choice that empowers you to achieve your highest potential. When you commit to focused effort, you transform your energy into impact and turn your dreams into reality. Consistency is often overlooked, yet it is one of the most powerful forces driving momentum and success in any area of life. While talent, opportunity, and motivation are important, without consistency, these elements rarely translate into lasting achievements. Consistency means showing up day after day, putting in the effort and making progress, even when results are slow or invisible. It is the repeated, disciplined action over time that creates momentum, a powerful force that propels you forward and ultimately leads to success. Momentum can be described as the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions. Just as a snowball rolling down a hill gains size and speed, consistent effort builds momentum that makes it easier to continue and accelerate. At the beginning of any new goal or habit, progress may seem slow and difficult. This is when consistency is most crucial. It is easy to feel discouraged when immediate results don't appear, but sticking with your plan despite this uncertainty allows momentum to build beneath the surface. Once momentum starts, it reduces resistance and increases motivation. When you see small wins or improvements, it creates a positive feedback loop that encourages you to keep going. This upward cycle can lead to exponential growth because the energy of momentum carries you through challenges and temptations that might otherwise derail you. Without consistency, you lose this momentum and often have to start over, wasting valuable time and energy. Consistency also builds trust and credibility, both with yourself and others. When you consistently meet your commitments, you develop self-trust, which is essential for confidence and resilience. You begin to believe in your ability to follow through, which strengthens your mindset and makes you more likely to tackle bigger challenges. Similarly, others recognize and respect consistency. It signals reliability and professionalism, opening doors to opportunities and support. Another key aspect of consistency is the way it reinforces learning and skill development. Mastery in any field requires repetition and practice. Consistent effort allows your brain and body to internalize new skills, build muscle memory, and improve performance. It moves you beyond the beginner stage into competence and eventually expertise. Inconsistent effort, by contrast, results in stalled progress and frustration because you never fully develop the habits and abilities needed for success. Consistency also helps in managing setbacks and failures. No path to success is perfectly smooth. Obstacles and mistakes are inevitable. When you have built the habit of consistency, setbacks become temporary interruptions rather than reasons to quit. You learn to view challenges as part of the process and keep going despite them. This resilience is crucial because most people give up right before a breakthrough. Consistency keeps you on track and turns failures into lessons rather than roadblocks. Additionally, consistency creates structure and predictability in your life, which reduces stress and increases focus. Having a routine or schedule that supports your goals means less mental energy spent on decision making and more energy available for productive work. It removes the chaos of uncertainty and creates a sense of control, making it easier to maintain motivation and discipline. This structure is especially important during times of distraction or low motivation, serving as a reliable anchor for your efforts. Another important benefit of consistency is the way it aligns your daily actions with your long-term vision. Goals often feel distant or overwhelming, which can lead to procrastination or distraction. But when you consistently take small steps aligned with your vision, your goals become more tangible and achievable. Over time, these small steps accumulate into significant progress, turning aspirations into reality. This connection between daily effort and long-term success is what gives meaning and purpose to your work. Consistency also enhances focus by encouraging you to narrow your attention to key priorities. When you commit to consistent effort, you must decide what matters most and eliminate activities that do not contribute to your goals. This prioritization helps prevent scattered efforts and wasted energy. It encourages deep work, allowing you to immerse yourself in meaningful tasks that produce real results. Focused and consistent effort is far more productive than sporadic bursts of energy or multitasking. Furthermore, consistency encourages patience and humility. It teaches you that success is not an overnight event, but a gradual process requiring persistence and steady progress. This understanding helps manage expectations and reduces frustration. It reminds you that real growth and transformation happen through small, daily improvements rather than sudden leaps. This mindset cultivates a long-term perspective, which is essential for sustainable success and personal development. Practical ways to build consistency include setting realistic and specific goals, creating daily habits, and tracking your progress. Breaking larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks helps avoid overwhelm and makes it easier to stay consistent. Using tools like journals, apps, or accountability partners can provide reminders and support. Celebrating small wins along the way also reinforces the habit of consistency by making the journey. In conclusion, consistency is the engine that builds momentum and drives success. It transforms effort into progress, setbacks into learning, and dreams into reality. Through consistent action, you develop resilience, mastery, focus, and trust in yourself. Momentum generated by consistency carries you forward even when motivation fades or obstacles appear. By committing to consistency, you create a powerful force that shapes your future and unlocks your full potential. Success is rarely about one big breakthrough. It is about showing up again and again and making steady progress toward your highest goals. Celebrating small wins is an essential yet often underestimated part of staying motivated and maintaining momentum on the journey toward your goals. When working hard toward a significant objective, it's easy to overlook the small achievements along the way, focusing only on the ultimate destination. However, recognizing and appreciating these minor victories can provide the encouragement and positive reinforcement needed to keep moving forward. Celebrating small wins helps you acknowledge progress, build confidence, and sustain motivation, which are all critical for long-term success. One of the primary reasons celebrating small wins is so effective is that it creates a sense of accomplishment. When you break a large goal into smaller, manageable milestones, reaching each one becomes an opportunity to feel successful. This sense of achievement triggers a positive emotional response in your brain, releasing dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This chemical boost not only makes you feel good, but also reinforces the behavior that led to success, making it more likely that you will continue to work hard and stay committed. Small wins serve as concrete evidence that your efforts are paying off. Often, when working toward big goals, progress can seem slow or invisible, which can lead to doubt and frustration. Celebrating the smaller steps allows you to see the tangible results of your work and reminds you that success is a process, not just a final outcome. This perspective shift can help you maintain patience and perseverance, especially during challenging times when motivation wanes. Another important benefit of celebrating small wins is that it helps to build momentum. Each success, no matter how minor, creates a positive feedback loop that propels you forward. When you recognize your progress, you feel encouraged to keep going and tackle the next challenge with renewed energy. Momentum is critical because it turns effort into a habit and makes it easier to maintain consistency. Without celebrating progress, it's easy to lose steam and abandon goals prematurely. Acknowledging small wins also builds confidence. Confidence is the foundation of motivation and performance, and it grows as you accumulate evidence of your capabilities. Every step forward reinforces your belief in yourself and your ability to overcome obstacles. This growing self-confidence reduces fear of failure and increases your willingness to take risks and empower yourself to aim higher. Celebrating progress also helps combat the perfectionism and all-or-nothing thinking that can sabotage motivation. Many people fall into the trap of believing that only the complete achievement matters, and if they don't reach their goal immediately, their efforts are worthless. This mindset leads to discouragement and gives permission to quit when things don't go perfectly. However, recognizing small wins shifts your focus from perfection to progress. It teaches you to appreciate incremental improvement and recognize that success is built on many small steps rather than a single giant leap. In addition, small celebrations provide moments of joy and gratitude that enrich the journey. The process of working toward a goal can sometimes feel tedious or stressful. Pausing to acknowledge what you have accomplished invites positivity and reminds you of why you started in the first place. Gratitude for small victories improves your overall mindset and emotional well-being, making the entire experience more fulfilling. This emotional boost can be the difference between burnout and sustained passion. The way you celebrate small wins matters. It doesn't have to be extravagant or time-consuming. Simple gestures such as sharing your achievement with a friend, treating yourself to a small reward, or taking a moment to reflect and journal about your progress can be powerful motivators. The key is to create a meaningful pause that honors your efforts and strengthens your commitment. Over time, these celebrations become rituals that support your growth and resilience. It's also helpful to keep track of your small wins. Writing them down or using a progress journal creates a visual record of your journey. This practice reinforces your accomplishments and provides a source of encouragement when motivation dips. Looking back at how far you've come reminds you that progress is real and attainable. This habit of recording successes builds a positive narrative about your capabilities and keeps you aligned with your goals. Small wins are especially critical when facing long-term projects or goals that require sustained effort. In these situations, it's easy to lose sight of progress because the results unfold slowly. Celebrating milestones along the way helps break down the timeline into manageable phases and keeps your enthusiasm alive. It also creates natural checkpoints to assess your strategies, make adjustments, and set new targets. This ongoing reflection ensures that you remain flexible and proactive rather than discouraged or complacent. Another important aspect is that celebrating small wins fosters a growth mindset. When you recognize progress and effort, you reinforce the belief that your abilities can develop through hard work and persistence. This mindset encourages learning, resilience, and adaptability, qualities essential for overcoming setbacks and achieving success. Celebrations become markers of your learning journey rather than just markers of final achievement. In conclusion, celebrating small wins is a powerful tool that nurtures motivation, builds confidence, and sustains momentum. It turns the often challenging and lengthy process of achieving goals into a more manageable, rewarding, and enjoyable experience. By acknowledging and appreciating each step forward, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages consistency and perseverance. Remember that success is not only about the destination, but also about the journey. Each small win is a vital part of that journey. Make it a habit to celebrate your progress regularly, and you will find that your motivation remains strong, your mindset positive, and your path to success much clearer and more fulfilling.